A car with more horsepower than a Lamborghini Aventador SVJ in a car which costs less than a Toyota Camry. The democratization of horsepower is well and truly here, but at what cost? My name is Elliot Richards, and this is the IM L6. MG really have been on a bit of a roll over the past few years. One of the best-selling EVs now in the UK and Europe, and expanding very quickly into other markets. They've got many other brands in China. The parent company, SAIC, also has a brand called Rising, and this one here, IM, or Zhiji as they're known here. And this is their new brand that really makes the MGs look like a British Leyland product from the 1970s. This is premium, upmarket, fast, it's everything that kind of MG isn't. And they're hoping that this, if it comes to Europe, we don't know after the proposed tariffs now, will be another successful hit. But I want to find out, has it got the right ingredients? Well, there's a few things on the inside of this that I think are really impressive. Oh, cut. I mean, the spec sheet here says 787 horsepower. Are you serious? That's supercar level. No, it's not even supercar level, that's hypercar level. And it costs $39,000. Are you serious? That is the headline, that's the headline. Ridiculous amount of horsepower for not a lot of money, but can SAIC come up with a premium sedan which doesn't cost that much money? None of these sentences make sense, so let's really find out and have a look. Now, you remember in my JQ J6 video a few weeks ago, I said I really hate blobby SUVs, and I was referring in that video to one specific SUV, which is the IM LS6, which is the most blobby looking car that's on the market. Now, they've left the clay model in the design studio underneath a heater for 4 months and then produced the car, or looks like a blobfish. Anyway, they've tightened up the design with this car, and I think it looks so much better for it. It's just a bit more slick and tighter, and in a sedan, it looks really good. It looks quite elegant. I'm loving kind of the soft aggression of the front face here, and it's wrapped in this lovely custard colour. Big fan of that. Coming down the side, kind of falls about a little bit in terms of design wise. I don't like these wheels. They're blobby wheels. They don't look bad in black here, but it kind of makes the whole arch seem a bit too big. I mean, there's quite a big gap here. These are only 20-inch wheels. I think they could be a bit bigger, fill out the arches a little bit more. But the most heinous thing about the design, the LS6 and this car, is this specific bit here. That makes it look like it's got a saggy bum or saggy arse, and it kind of sticks out here, which then makes the wheel look like it's too small. So for me, this whole area really doesn't matter. But if you look at the car as a whole, it looks great. But I just focus on that, the blobby bit. But you know, that's my problem, isn't it? Not your problem. Right, so what we're going to do now is put it into race mode, because this has got a race mode, of course. Oh, it's in the car. Race mode is this button here, and then look at this. All right, that's pretty scary, but it's quite cool as well. So we're gonna, I guess, just have a go. Oh, it's in park.
A few inches later.
Whoa! All right, we're not doing that again. Now, this is probably one of the best but most frustrating places to be in this car, because as we move forward into some ridiculous seating position, not mine, it's got hand controls, which is good, but you can also control it on the screen, which is bad. That door control down here, you just press it to open, and then, okay, fine, you open it like that. But that's not a very nice feeling. It's a tiny little gap to kind of close the door. It just doesn't feel quite ergonomic to me. That's a bit of an issue. Here we go again. Kind of like a fighter pilot's cockpit, but bathed in leather and leatherette materials. It's very luxurious. I've got a massive screen in front of me which shows all of the information. Everything's chucked on there. It's really high resolution. It looks great. It's partially in English as well, which is also good for me. And then my passenger also gets a screen over there separate from this one. So this is actually 2 screens, one long screen here and a shorter screen over there. Plus I've got this controlling screen down here. All of these are touch screens, which is great. And I think they've really done well in here because it's well built, it feels well made, it's solid, really nails it. Got my wireless phone charging with a fan to cool it down. Loads of space in here, loads of space down there, space down here. I like this interior, I like this seating position, it feels good. and I can see the front of the car because it's got the big bulgy wings at the front. They've knocked it out of the park with this front interior. So well done. What I'm really trying to understand is this car gives you so much. It's better than a race car. It flattens in the corners, stops your head from tilting forwards, but it gives you so much. There's so much technology that it feels like it's de-skilling the driver. Like, I don't have to worry about anything. Is this one step before self-driving cars? Is this too much technology in a car? There's no real driving feeling apart from putting your foot down and it going really bloody fast. But you don't get any response, you don't get any feedback from the car. It just goes fast. It lacks feeling, it lacks emotion. It's a robot, it's a machine. A very good one as well, but that's all it is. Let me just briefly demonstrate what I mean about lack of control. Now, I will turn the wheel very quickly and see when the car begins to actually turn itself. Nothing, 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 nothing. Slight movement. I mean, not very precise, is it? I would expect that from a 787 horsepower monster car with ridiculous speed. Now there's two electric motors in this car, something called the Hurricane motor. One at the front has 200 kilowatts, the one at the back has 579 kilowatts. Again, that helps you get to that ridiculous horsepower figure, and you switch different modes. I'm in comfort mode because I absolutely do not need any other mode. Okay, if I'm going to take just a moment of your time to talk about the specs of this car. There's lots of different models starting from, I think, around 200,000 RMB, up 26,000 US dollars. The version we have here today is the 900 volt architecture version, and it's got your super fast charging. Underneath here is a 100 kilowatt hour battery, which can be charged with a DC or AC charger. When I brushed it and it closed, which is good. But I want to just talk about the specs of this car in terms of the size. It's about 50 mil shorter than 5 meters, so it's a very big sedan. Thankfully though, it's got four-wheel steering, which means it's really easy to maneuver in and out of car park spaces. And now we're going to go into crab walk mode, so put this on. All right, here we go. Crab walking time. So both wheels are aligned in the same direction at the moment. Here we go. Shift, sliding across the car park, drifting, in fact, four-wheel drifting. Let's drift the other way. Oh yeah, great, I suppose for maneuverability. Now I remember just a few years ago when they displayed these concepts at one of the motor shows. These came out for the first time and everyone was saying, oh, it looks very Aston Martin from the rear. And yes, it does. It's a very signature kind of Aston Martin light shape. But I think they've kind of taken it in their own direction now. It's still very much Aston Martin, but it's starting to move away from that a little bit more. I do, however, like that this is an LED screen here. I don't know if you can see that. There's a little doggy jumping up and down. He's very happy to be here filming on a boiling hot day. And just want to briefly mention this vestigial back window, which is basically useless because you can't see anything out of it. What I do like is the button here to open the boot. So you press the logo and the boot will open. Not a significantly big boot. I think that's a bit of a compromise with this kind of fastback saloon shape. You can fit a few bags in there, should be good enough, but it's not very deep. So a few problems I think there. We'll flash up the actual literage of this boot on the screen right now. But let me know what you think in the comments of the rear end of the L6. Now in terms of luxury, like we're on the highway here doing 100 and whatever kilometers an hour. Very quiet, got double pane thickness in the glass. So I do want to try that braking mode, which flattens out the braking. So instead of when you put your foot on the brake, suddenly your head goes forwards, this really does flatten out. So we're driving along, I'm gonna gently apply the brake. That's very impressive. I have to say that's pretty cool. And I expect that helps with getting rid of motion sickness or just making the car feel a bit more controlled, refined, maybe more luxury. I think IM and a lot of the other manufacturers really have to think about what's their soul, what are they all about? IM have told me they're about tech, they're about luxury, premium, they're about speed. You can't really have all of those, can you? Can't you just pick one? Now the rear of this car is not the most amazing of places, I have to be honest. And this is the problem. Are they going for that premium market? Are they going for that tech market? Are they going for the speed market? When they define that, then it will make more sense of what they're trying to do in the back here, because there's some semi-luxury features in here. I've got the opening button for the door handle here, which opens the door like this. The speakers though are unbranded, which, you know, in China now is unthinkable. Everyone has branded speakers from some brand. This doesn't have that. So are they not going for that premium market? And then would this door have fully automatic opening like a lot of its competitors? I don't know. And then in terms of features in here, it's very featureless. I've got the standard glass roof, which is absolutely roasting hot today. I do have something called IM Mag, which I think is a magnet where I can stick like a screen or my phone and I can watch movies there. I mean, it keeps the cost down for the consumer, which is a good thing. And not everyone wants a screen because they date very quickly. And I've got USB-C and I've got my air conditioning, that's it. These got no heating or ventilation back here, do have ISOFIX, I've got cup holders, but that's kind of it. And that's what I really want IM to do, is define what this car is, because they're trying to do too much. If you're a performance sedan, then say you're a performance sedan. Don't have some of these luxury things in here. And it's absolutely roasting, so I'm getting out, not through the window. Now, one of the biggest complaints I do have about these cars in general, and more tech-focused, tech-featured cars at the moment, is it's bloody hard to find anything in these menus. Right, I got given the car yesterday. I thought, oh, this wing mirror, I can't really see out of it, it's a little bit difficult. And I was like, oh, well, I'll just adjust that wing mirror. I still, day two, cannot find where to adjust that wing mirror. Yes, the menu's in Chinese. I've gone through all the logical places it could be. In a legacy automaker's car, in a normal car, there'd be a knob down here or a button here. You press that, it comes up on the screen, fine. I don't know where it is. I cannot find where to adjust the wing mirrors. And that's the other thing. It keeps beeping at me. I'm parked at the traffic lights. I know this car's around me. You don't have to keep bonging at me all the time. Yes, you can turn that off. When I'm parked in traffic, I'm not in park, I'm still in drive. Just got my foot on the brake. It's almost too much. Like I said, they've got the yoke. They've stuffed all the tech in here, the driving tech, the horsepower. This has everything. It's a little bit frustrating. And I wish they would just tone it down a bit more. You don't need everything. I mean, I just talk about some positive things in the cabin that I do really like. Ventilated seats, hot day like today, are an absolute godsend. And they're comfortable. Heated seats as well. Heated steering wheel. It's got all of that stuff here. The controls up here for the drive mode, up, down, reverse drive, you know, feels good. It's natural. I'm glad they've got rid of the stupid dial in the middle. I don't really like that. This just seems much more natural to me. Here we go. Bang that speed up. Oh, that is rapid. Jeez, that is fast as, yeah, cannot complain about that at all. So one of the most interesting points is that SAIC, one of the massive conglomerates here in China, they have joint ventures with Audi, VW here, so they make their cars here in China. And Audi in China at the moment, I think has been confirmed that they will be using this platform underneath this car for some of their own models coming up, their own electric models in the next few years. I mean, at the end of the day, Audi are not really developing that many of their own electric cars over in Germany. Why not use chassis like this, but then improve them, tweak them, make them more European? Could they make this chassis, could they make this car feel a bit more planted, a bit more exciting perhaps? Yes, they probably could. It's going to be an interesting journey over the next few years because IM are going overseas markets with this car, with some of their other cars. Will this appeal to the buyers there? I don't know. I think the car begins to come into its own. You feel that those refinements are more apparent, actually. Coming to think of it, I'm discovering this car on this journey. But you do those faster speeds, you apply those brakes at those faster speeds, you turn at those faster speeds, the car comes alive. I know what they've done here. They've packaged this up so the salary man can drive along to work every day at 60 kilometers an hour. Then at the weekend, he can put his tie around his head and go mental in the mountains. Very surprising. Now, often when we get cars, we get given them on a racetrack, and I'm always a bit fed up because I don't want to drive a sedan around a racetrack. It's like, well, whatever. This, I want to drive it on a racetrack. I want to see what it's like at the limit. Driving around a city like this, right now, a little bit mundane. That's the hidden secret behind this car. I didn't think it was there. Okay, IM. You've redeemed yourself on this test drive. This is a cracking car. This car scares me. It scares me for many reasons because It's a democratization of power, of speed, for amazing value for money. It should scare German automakers who literally cannot compete at this level at this time. I mean, it's exciting for Audi if they're going to use the same platform in the future, but my God, how have they managed to do this? But what really scares me is there's now so much tech in cars, and I'm not specifically talking about this car. It could be any of them, that it de-skills us, it numbs the driving experience. Is that something that we want? Is this the first step towards that self-driving future where it doesn't really matter what the car's performance is like? Gosh, this is such a contradiction, because the car, the L6, is amazing. Like, outstandingly amazing. I love it. But I'm also very, very worried.